Hi everyone, Vlad from Vortex Games here. I decided to make the development journal day 13 a video because I want to show you something that I have been asked a lot lately, which is how do we organize projects. Now I'm going to show you this, but I have to tell you that this is a running thing. It's not really over. We started organizing projects this way specifically for Bruce Ali, and in the end of the project, if there are any major changes or techniques or tricks we use, I'll show you. I'll do another video, okay? But this is what is happening now. So first and foremost, Bruce Ali and all. This is the real project. You're not looking at something I prepared just for the video. This is the real project, okay? You will see how things are really organized. You see all these check marks. This is because all the projects, I have everything in the Dropbox, including a standalone version of Flash Develop and the content debuggers, the Flash players, plugins, and so on and so forth. The project, the folder, is organized in a way that it divides responsibilities in the team. For instance, Dave is going to take care of sound, so this is his folder. I will not put a hand in this folder. The only thing I'll do is I'm going to manage this FLA file in order to export to a given location. I'm going to explain that later. Sorry. Same thing for graphics. Graphics is Marco's folder. You'll see a bunch of stuff in here that he uses for his work. The only thing I'm going to do here is the same thing I did with the sound folder. The FLAs are configured to export to a given location. Okay. Then we have the release and debug folders. These are the folders that get actual SWF files, and this library here is a very special folder. You can see we have Swig and Swift files here. These are the ones I use when I'm coding. Okay, in the release you'll only see the final Swift file. Okay, so what does this mean in terms of code? Well, it gets much more complicated. If I open my Flash Develop, you will see that I'm going to minimize this so you can have a clear look. You can see not only I have my code here, okay, but I also have a bunch of projects. There are 5 of them. The current one is hidden by default, okay. I also have the shared libraries that I use to code on another location, so that everything is centralized. There are good things about this, and there are good and bad things about doing it this way. But since I'm developing Bolt Pixel Engine version 2, at the same time I'm developing Bruce Ali, I prefer to have this in another location. This is the debug folder that you saw earlier and the release folder that you saw earlier. Okay. Now, first trick, all these projects, if you don't have a multi-instance Flash Develop installation, you can literally switch projects right inside the IDE. If you look at here, you'll see that right now I'm on the test split project, and if I click in the test pool project, I will be in the test pool project. Flash Develop remembers everything, the folders you have opened, pretty much everything that you have changed in a given project. It will show you up. Okay, so why do I have this right here? I had a problem early on with Bruce Ali, which was I was developing gameplay and at the same time I was doing a quick level editor. It was easy to see that was a problem. First, the main code was getting a lot of garbage code in it. And second, every time that Marco wanted to see things in one side or the other, I had to change the project in order to make it do something different. So these little side projects started to appear, which is a good thing, since all these projects have the same code of the main project, which means that I can develop and I can do tests without tainting the main code. Okay. I can also do another very nice thing, which I'm going to show you with the debug and release, which is what really matters. Right now I'm in the Bruce Ali debug, as you can see here. You will notice that debug is here. Okay, so I'm going to have traces and debug and all that stuff. And this is the most important part to explain. These Swig files are added to the library, but are external libraries. What this means is that these Swig files are not compiled with a final Swift file. Okay. In practical terms, if I go to the debug, to the class that the debug calls when it starts, this means that I can have variables. Let's just call it something. For instance, I can load this assets.backgrounds, okay, which are in the Swig and the Swift file. But since I'm not loading the Swig file, this SWF, this assets.swf are being loaded through this through my manager, which has this method called set development library. The set development library, what we'll do is going to load all the Swift files in the game domain, which means I can access the files. Why do I do this? The main reason for this is that if Marco changes something and he wants to see it right away, he will see it right away. I don't need to recompile everything. He just exports the Swifts and the Swigs, and as long as he calls this brucealidebug.swf, he will have the new assets that he created. This is valid for all content that is inside the library. Okay, so the trick here is, and I have to say thank you to the nice folks at flashdevelop.org and flashgamelicense.com for discussing this with me. So the Swig is added to the library, but it is not included in the Swift file, which means you do have code completion, but this assets.swf is going to be loaded, so everything is dynamic. Okay, but if I check the Bruce Ali release version, and now I'm on the Bruce Ali release project, you will see that the assets are added to the library and included. Okay, so all the classes that I reference in the code from this Swig file are included in the project. Okay, this means that the final Bruce Ali file that will go into the release will be a final version, with all classes self-contained. Okay, this was just to give you a quick look at how the project is organized. I hope that developers that are looking into Flash Develop can find this useful, and that people more experienced with ActionScript 3 and with Flash Develop have a nice discussion about techniques and what we can do with things like this. Okay, bye bye.